Hip-hop is brutal. One day, you're on top of the world, albums going platinum, fans screaming your name. The next, you're getting cooked on Twitter for dropping a dud or trying to defend yourself in Instagram comments like a dude who just got exposed for cheating. A bad album can ruin careers, and how an artist reacts to it can make things even worse. Some just disappear, some double down, and some spiral into complete madness. So today we're breaking down the worst flops in hip-hop, starting with the man who just can't stay off social media for the wrong reasons, Kanye West.
And then it's like I got my mind. They try to throw me out my mind. They try to medicate me. They really tried to physically take me off of this planet, and I'm here.
The thing is, he said something. He said, grounded in reality. This reality has been forced upon us. It is a choice.
Right now, Kanye is in the middle of yet another social media meltdown. If you've been paying attention, you probably saw the mess unfold in real time. First, he was trending because his wife, Bianca Censori, showed up to the Grammys in, nothing. Then, just as that died down, Ye decided he hadn't done enough damage and posted a photo of his latest fashion design, what looked like a Klan-inspired outfit, which he captioned, "Outfit of the Day." Now, Ye's sometimes a genius, sometimes a madman, but he's been on a losing streak for a while, to put it mildly, and this isn't his first time fumbling. Let's rewind to 2018 when Kanye was producing albums for everyone in his circle. Pusha T, Kid Cudi, Tiana Taylor, and then Nas, a guy he's idolized.
Would take to be a legend like Nas is. Not so novice, I'm so polished. I got a right to be a little bit snob.
Now, a Kanye-produced Nas album sounds like it should have been legendary, but what we got was Nasir, a project that was rushed and sounded like it was put together on Kanye's iPhone GarageBand app.
So phenomenal. What do you think went wrong with the Kanye West album?
I don't know what went wrong. I would say I did want to work more with him. I did. We spent some time there, but I was working on ideas. He would give me like a few loops, and I would write to them, but they wasn't finished. And I was just trying. He was working on a lot. He had Cudi, Tiana Taylor. He had his album, and I was the only one coming in starting fresh. So I got the less time with him. We really did that album like that week that it was supposed to come out.
But after Nasir flopped, Nas did what greats do. He adjusted and leveled up. He linked up with Hit Boy, a producer who actually gave him the time and focus Kanye didn't, and together they crafted the King's Disease trilogy and Magic series. And just like that, Nas was back in GOAT form. The projects were some of his best work in decades and earned him his first ever Grammy, proving that he still had plenty left in the tank.
Brother, he texted me. The next thing was, "You won." So I said, "Bro, he just said I won." And there was a silence. And we was like, damn, we was the cool guys with no Grammys.
Yeah.
That's gone. You know what I mean? He's pushing himself. If I was to work with Hit Boy on the next thing I do, I think that we might do something that is gonna be magical.
Man, Roddy Ricch had the world in a chokehold in 2019. The Box became one of the biggest songs of the year. It was everywhere. You couldn't escape that squeaky door sound even if you wanted to. His debut album, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, went crazy. First week sales hit 101,000, and his streams continued to stay strong months after. But when it came time for the follow-up, it all fell apart. And maybe he saw it coming.
It's just in general, like you never want to rise to the top too fast in anything, because usually when you get to the top, there's no other way to go but down.
Right. Roddy dropped Live Life Fast in 2021, and it was a 40,000 unit drop-off from his last album. Fans were pretty disappointed.
First, I would say the closing track here is the definition of phoning it in. And this record overall just kind of feels like Roddy has nothing, or feels like he has nothing left to prove or do. The amount of success he's seen off of his breakout single and album seems to be enough to have put him in a position where he no longer seems willing to try anything all that new, daring, or interesting.
Many saw the album as uninspired, the energy was off, and Roddy acted like it didn't matter. He would go on to rationalize the flop for the next few years, but do it in a pretty legit, even-headed way, saying that the noise doesn't bother him and how music is his therapy.
Right now, I heard all three records, they're crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't really, I feel like
album about to go gold. Feel me? Sell 500,000 copies. I know a lot of niggas that don't even do that. So
most people don't do that.
You feel me? So I just feel like it's a body of work. I feel like maybe if they didn't enjoy it, it wasn't for them. Bro, this is my lifestyle. This is what I do. My music be my therapy a lot of times, you know, to get me to stop thinking about it. I just lay it on the wax.
But then he released a snippet of new music on SoundCloud titled Out of My Mind in 2022, and it got absolutely trashed by fans. He pulled the track down, but the damage was done. Right after he pulled the track down, he deleted his social media, writing, "Guess I'm a flop now." Crazy. People hit him hard for that, but at least showed some sympathy. Dropping a snippet that gets cooked so bad that you deactivate is wild. Thoughts and prayers. Seems like he triggered, "I hope Roddy don't get in the way of his own success. Drop music and be consistent." But Roddy seemed to gain some cred back last year when he dropped his plans to hit Paris Fashion Week and instead show up to his fellow Compton rapper Kendrick Lamar's pop-out concert in LA after the rap legend invited him personally.
You know, we just had plans, and I had talked to Doc. I'm like, man, I spent a lot of money in Paris already. He like, I get it. If you gotta do what you gotta do. And I sat on it for a couple of days. I'm like, man, I can't miss this. I'm like, I can't miss this.
So maybe Roddy can bounce back. The Navy album might be a revival, or it might be the final nail in the coffin, with people saying things like, this will either be the best album of the year or the worst album of the year, no in between. We gotta talk about Eminem's worst album. Not Relapse, not Encore, Revival.
The new Eminem album, Revival. Wow! Wow! This album's bad. It's really bad.
In 2017, M was still seen as an all-time great, even if he had lost some of that raw energy from his prime. But when Revival dropped, the disappointment was universal. Fans hated it. Critics hated it. And I mean like really hated it. One review quoted his line from the track, "Need me. I'm swimming in that Egyptian river because I'm in denial," and then wrote, "And so is anyone telling themselves Revival is a good album." Even Eminem himself ended up hating it, or at least partially.
And there are a few songs on the album that I do wish I could have back. Like there's, I don't know which ones, I can't think of offhand, but like there's a couple of them that weren't, you know, great. But then I feel like, I don't know.
There's no backsies.
But still, man, there were some stinkers in there, literally. Like he got hit hard on social media for this line.
Diarrhea.
Yeah.
I got a lot of shit for that line.
Right.
Pun intended. But it's like, when, oh man, that shit's trash, oh it's trash. I'm just being stupid. Like it's sometimes, you ever think of a punchline as like, it's just supposed to be stupid.
The main issue was probably that a lot of people thought the album sounded like a dad trying to relate to his teenage son's Spotify playlist. M traded his usual production for rock samples, Ed Sheeran features, and awkward political bars that felt like they were written for an 8th grade debate team. Nobody was feeling it. The backlash was so bad that M came back a year later with Kamikaze, which was basically 45 minutes of him ranting about how everyone hated Revival.
Kamikaze. It's an album that in a lot of respects is merely a reaction to the negative reactions that Revival justifiably got.
And look, Eminem is still one of the GOATs, no question. But Revival was the moment where people stopped checking for his albums the way they used to, and that's an L, no matter how you spin it. An album like Revival would have been a career killer for anyone other than Eminem, and this next artist definitely wouldn't have survived. What's more, he's flopped so hard there might not be any coming back for him anyway. There was a time when Lil Uzi Vert felt untouchable. The energy, the charisma, the diamond in the forehead, everything about them screamed superstar, and they really broke through in 2017 with Love Is Rage 2. But after a dispute with their record label Generation Now and a bunch of tracks leaking, they took a break until 2020 when they released Eternal Atake. It was highly anticipated, but not so well received.
Out there, but after finally hearing Eternal Atake, I can easily say this thing did not really live up to expectations, and I think I can also say with no reservations whatsoever that Uzi is one of the most overhyped rappers of this past decade.
Yeah, Eternal Atake sold crazy numbers in 2020, racking up 289,000 in first week sales. But behind the scenes, Uzi wasn't happy with it at all. They later admitted that most of the album had leaked, forcing Uzi to rush a second version. And instead of being the masterpiece they wanted, it was just another album. Since then, Uzi's been struggling to keep the hype. They got sober before releasing their next album, The Pink Tape. But reviews for that one were harsh, with one critic calling it a bloated and messy new album. Every new project has been met with less excitement than the last, and fans are starting to feel like Uzi is just throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. After The Pink Tape tanked, Uzi hit social media telling everyone that something great was just around the corner, saying, "My music wasn't hitting the same because I didn't go through-ish. I recently went through something," followed by a broken heart emoji hinting at a breakup. That album was Eternal Atake too, and it also got mixed reviews, but he's trying to pull it together, and he's addressed his past faults.
I apologize in advance to a lot of my fans. I knew they all felt the energy that I was, giving out. Basically, I wasn't giving it my all, and now I'm back giving it my all.
Still, fans wanted that old Uzi magic, and instead they got something that sounded like a bunch of leftover tracks from 5 years ago. Their problem isn't that they're making bad music, it's that they're not evolving, and hip-hop doesn't wait around for anyone. Still though, Uzi remains positive and comes across as a genuinely good person.
But for everyone else, just keep being yourself and just keep doing what you gotta do. And, don't move at anyone else's beat. Your beat is, what your favorite song is, so don't ever move at anyone else's beat. Unless it make you dance.
Right now, Uzi's at a crossroads. Either they figure out how to reinvent or keep dropping albums that no one cares about. And if history tells us anything, once fans check out, it's hard to get them back. Flopping in hip-hop isn't just about bad music. It's about what happens next. Some artists recover, learn from their mistakes, and come back stronger. Others, well, they keep digging a bigger hole. And in the internet era, every mistake is permanent. Let me know in the comments, what's the worst hip-hop flop of all time? Which rapper still has a chance at redemption? And most importantly, should Kanye log off for good? I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.